Very cool, right? Thank you. Well done, guys.
So we've been practicing for 5 years. So this is what you can level up to.
Next time. So we showed you what it looks like. So what does it feel like? Okay. So you're all going to do that same routine right now. Okay.
Definitely.
No. Okay. That's not going to happen right now. But we talked about the acrobatic part. That's what we just did. We also have this kind of therapeutic, more relaxing type part that involves Thai massage and flying therapeutics. The flying therapeutics we're not going to do at the moment, but Thai massage is another important part of the practice as well. It teaches us how to pour our weight from side to side and about sensitivity and listening to people. So, Melody?
So if your neighbor would like you to do this, of course ask. It's very consent-based. Do a little hand massage with us right now.
So maybe like talk with the person adjacent to you if they'd like to only. Like you don't have to. You don't have to.
If you just hold the hand really softly and gently, they can relax so you have the weight of their hand.
Right. So not tense here, right? Relax. It's a hard thing for people to relax. Right?
Take it and you can just softly open it up.
Oh, let's see. That's the sound we want to hear, right? Yeah.
And then we use this muscle here by our thumb a lot. So you can softly push down with the
flat of your
flat of your
thumb.
thumb.
Say Yubinohara.
And then slowly do circles. Pull down on the thumb. And then go to the muscle on the other side. Feels really nice.
So you can also check in with your partner as well. Like, is this okay? Is it too hard? Is it too soft? Do you want more? So this is what we mean about it's consent-based, and we keep, going on and asking and checking in with our partner. How does it feel?
So you finish all of their fingers. You can
Switch. So now the other person's turn. Okay.
or the other hand. You can the other hand.
Now for some people, they're very, very sensitive. Like even this might be too much. Melissa has very, very sensitive hands, so I might even just hold her like this. And that's enough. We don't touch each other very much in our modern society. It's unusual to have a time where you just have a non-sexual but kind of semi-intimate time where you're touching someone else. So it can be a nice experience.
It just, for me, I don't like to receive a massage. It hurts my body too much. But having someone just be there, be present, it feels really nice. So I get my energy back by just letting someone be there for me. So maybe you can give your partner a massage in the break.
Okay, so that's like our time, right? Okay, so yeah, that was it. Thank you very much. We hope you. We just have one more round of applause for these guys. A lot of questions. Yes. Yes.
How well does AcroYoga work for those who may have injuries or other difficulties?
Okay. So.
Depends on the kind of injury. I am nearly constantly injured. I have severe wrist problems. I have destroyed my legs. You just choose what parts you want to do and what parts you don't.
Yeah. And so she also has like joints that are very loose, like very easily apart. So there's a lot of moves that don't work for her. So she said earlier about honest self-appraisal and about like what works for you as well. That's a kind of ongoing thing that we need to do. Where you need to like say, this is where my body is at now, or today, or forever, and this is what I don't want you to do.
You can always try things and be like, oh, this is uncomfortable, I would like to come down, or I'd like this person off of me. We always just say down. That means the movement is finished. Spotter should help you come out safely. That's the goal. Because you can always try things.
And a good teacher will be able to modify and adapt to empower anybody to do something, right? So I've seen people in wheelchairs. And this, it just takes the right set of circumstances and the right setup.
You pulled them out of the wheelchair first, I hope.
No, I've seen, yes, people, yeah. So really it's, that kind of honest self-appraisal and having that conversation with the person you're dealing with, the trust that's involved, like working with a partner, saying like that kind of radical honesty of saying that this is where I'm at, can you help me to achieve this thing that I want to do? So there's like an attitude part of it, and then from the teaching side as well, like our job is to see how we have them with them to do what we think they can do best, like in the safest way. Good question. Yes.
Could you tell us a bit more about the history of AcroYoga? Like, where did it originate?
Okay.
So different branches of it have started different ways. Of course, it came from the acrobatic community originally. Like, of course, everyone's seen like Cirque du Soleil, heard about it or something, where people started doing acrobatics. But then it slowly started. People who were gymnasts and things wanted to make it more accessible for other people to do, and so they started bringing it into yoga. It has a strong basis with the acrobatic community and the yoga community.
So the yoga obviously came from India like first, and the Thai massage stuff came from East Asia, and the acrobatic stuff you can find everywhere. Like Melissa mentioned, acrobatics like in Canada, like Montreal is very famous for acrobatics. That's where Cirque du Soleil is from. So there's one AcroYoga organization called AcroYoga Montreal. They're from there. So that's one organization. The organization that we're with, AcroYoga International, is based in San Francisco. No one's surprised to hear this comes from California, right? So yes, that's where the particular branch came from, that's like 10 or 15 years old or so. I don't think it's. I think it still existed probably before that, but these organizations were the first to kind of codify it and put it together into an organized practice. So it's not very old.
Okay.
Okay. Is it possible to practice this by yourself?
Yes, plenty of people do, right? So when we first started 5 years ago, there weren't any teachers here. So we modeled along with YouTube and making mistakes by ourselves, and honestly, we had some successes, right?
We had some successes.
So yes, we
It's a while now.
but our rate of progress was here compared to after we went and learned properly. But yes, there's plenty of people that.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, as in, like, is it possible to do AcroYoga, like, or practice some elements of it by yourself?
Yes. So obviously the very nature of it is that it involves two people. So that part of it is kind of hard to do by yourself. But building the physical foundations that allow you to do the practice well, those are definitely things you can do by yourself. Like as a base, plenty of push-ups, core work, so many of those things, plenty of squats.
Being able to touch your toes without bending your knees.
Yeah, like our name, HamString AcroYoga, is partly because when you're base lying down with the L shape, your hamstrings are very engaged. So a lot of guys have very tight hamstrings, especially even if they're very strong without the body. So
But it doesn't mean that you can't do it even if you have tight hamstrings.
no, but that's something that you can train by yourself
Yeah.
at home. Handstands as well, headstands. These are all things you can do at home, right? So yes, sure. But the great thing about AcroYoga is even if there isn't a teacher somewhere where you are, there's probably like a jam community of people that meet regularly in the park, and so you can go and like say, hey, you want to play? Like that. So yeah. Yeah. So we sometimes call it like trees and elves. Put it that way. So it's normally the physically broader, larger, sturdier, however you want to put it, person on the bottom, and the lighter person, like more flexible person on the top. So depending on the country that you're in, like.
But it's also possible for me to base that.
Yeah.
It's possible. Yeah, it just takes a lot more practice, and I don't have the strength if I screw up, so I have to be on point with like exactly where I placed my feet, exactly how I'm bringing him in. Like there's a lot more possibility for things to go wrong because I'm smaller, but it doesn't mean I can't do it.
I think also like me, G and Tanya all base and fly each other. So there isn't such a, it doesn't have to always be a really small
That's
person and a
true.
really big person.
A lot of same size stuff, like Vansky Acro is basically a same size sports organization, so it depends on who you're working with.
So it also depends from country to country. Like in Japan, I found that men and women tend to have more similar body types, more similar body sizes. So in those cases, like it's very easy to change the roles. Like in the West, there are some really big women, right? And some really big guys. So like the base role tends to,
Whoever in that combination
Right.
happens to be the biggest at that time.
and
You can also just be like, hey, I want to try basing like
Yeah.
you. Like.
You talked about like the layering or the kind of progressive nature of it as well. That's another part of it. If you're the teacher, they'll help you to go like, okay, so we're here now. We're gonna do bigger base and small flyer. Okay, you've accumulated more experience now. Let's try same size. Okay, you're super experienced now. Let's try tiny base. Tiny base, huge flyer. So again, this is the building like a pyramid type of thing, like a challenge level.
So in one of the demonstrations, we've had 3 people, together. Like, what is the
the so far max number of people that has humanly So possible.
Uh-huh.
I'll just pull like one example from my personal experience at the Yokohama Yoga Festival last year, which is the biggest yoga festival in Asia. There's thousands of people go there. One of the main teachers in Japan is this lady called Risa, and she organized a flash mob there. So she taught an AcroYoga lesson to like hundreds of people on an outdoor arena, and then she had secretly planned a flash mob afterwards that involved, I don't know, 30 teams of people, like all staggered, like team A was doing it for 5 minutes and then team B would come in on minute 4, things like this. It was, I don't know how many people there were, 40 or something performers in there, plus the audience that was watching. So that's just Japan. Like if you go to other countries, they're probably bigger ones, like that performances.
But like we've also seen like ones where it's 5 people all working together. We've
Yeah.
seen groups of 10. So it just depends on how creative you are.
Yeah, the limit is really your imagination.
Maybe one more question.
Okay, one more question, anybody?
Where and when do you run your classes?
Wait, we haven't mentioned this.
No, yeah.
Funny you should mention it. we brought these flyers for which advertise. We teach at probably the only studio in Osaka that runs kind of dedicated AcroYoga classes. There's another one in Kyoto as well. So we have the information here on the back. It's only in Japanese, unfortunately. But if you are interested, we have some flyers here. So please come and talk to us. We'll be happy to.
We always post our classes on our Facebook page as well.
Yeah. So please feel free to add us, HamString AcroYoga, and you'll find all the class information there.
And come back to your Monday nights.
That's right. Yeah.
From 7 to 9.
Yes, that's right. The Monday night one is in English. That's
The
English.
Monday night one is in English
It's
only.
an English class. There's another beginner class on Saturday morning that's in Japanese as well.
And that's taught by a friend of ours.
Yes, the lady on the picture here.
She's also amazing and has amazing acting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
All right. Thank you very much for your time.